my gosh. My friends, the delay is something else. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time zone you're in, my friends. I don't know why, I just feel really inspired lately to share. I think it's because, well, it's the season. So I wanted to talk about today, I mean, like so many things, but where do we even start? Transformation and change. I wanted to talk about this because I know that some people, they feel like change isn't possible, changing or transforming their life is just not an option for them. Some people can, and they feel like they can't. And I wanted to let you guys know, if you want it, it will happen. When your soul gets exhausted, you end up having a spiritual awakening, and that's happening for a lot of people. So I guess, how badly do you want it? Because if you want change to happen, you can make it happen. We create our reality. Our thoughts, our words, our actions create our reality. A lot of people in the spiritual community talk about how words are spells, because what you say sends out vibrations. Your thoughts send out vibrations. So if you want change or transformation in your life, you have to take the initiative to realize that what's going on in your head matters. Mindset matters. That's why my whole platform is about mindset, because mindset is like the tone of the song of your life, right? Everybody's life is like a melody, a song, and your mindset is like what key the song is in. So on the journey, you can figure out what works best for you. There's a lot of different tools of self-discovery for personal development. I have found a lot of things useful. One of the reasons why I spend so much time doing this is because I like to explore. My neurodivergent brain style works this way. So I take all of the information. This is how I process and understand things. I take and look at everything, and then I synthesize the information inside of my head and try to find what works, what doesn't, how the different tools work. So that way, when I'm helping other people, I'm able to have a broad skill set in understanding the different tools and what's out there, because everybody is unique and different, and something will work for one person and not for everybody. So I found that astrology is useful for personal development, self-discovery, reflecting. The human design, if you've seen that, is really interesting. The list goes on, right? Different ways that we can look at ourselves. Carl Jung's work with the shadow and things like that, the divine feminine and masculine. You can look at yourself in so many different ways from so many different angles. What I wanted to mention about these tools is that they are tools. And when you learn something, do not identify strongly with these different things. So the path of self-discovery and personal development leads to liberation. If you want a fast track version without the running around in circles, the path of yoga is really useful, because the path of yoga is like a straight line toward liberation. All these other circles that we go through in self-discovery, they're exciting and they're fun, but they are circles sometimes. We learn deeper meanings. We learn things about ourselves. You can figure out, okay, well, this is my astrological sign. This is my natal chart. Let me dig in. Let me look at all of this. Let me understand myself, which is very useful for a lot of people. But when we identify, let's say I'm a Leo, if I identify as a Leo and I think of myself that way, and I grab on to that as a part of my identity, I'm actually moving away from liberation. I am not saying that I don't use and look at astrology. I love astrology. I think it's really interesting. But what I'm saying is, if you grab onto it as part of your identity, it pulls you further away from liberation, because now you're saying, okay, I am a Leo, I am this way, and this is how I am. When in reality, when you move towards liberation, you're letting go of identity. You're letting go of, this is how I am because I am really everything. The path leads to an understanding eventually that I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this personality. I am beyond personality, I am beyond identity, I am beyond body and mind. So I wanted to make these things clear because there are a lot of tools to help self-reflect and look at yourself. But as long as you're using them in this way, it can enrich your experience and not pull you further into your own mental enslavement, telling you, well, I am this, I am that, I am this identity. So everything with a good mindset in its tool category can be useful. But once we grip on, we're moving further away from liberation, further into our own enslavement. So I wanted to make that really clear. When you're going through your journey of discovery, understand that everybody is on their own journey and that what somebody else is doing might not be for you. Do not feel anything but confident in your own journey. Make sure that you're blazing your own trail, because your trail is for you. And if somebody else feels really motivated and into looking at astrology and you're not, then that's okay. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Do what works for you. Whatever's resonating with you, whatever signs you're getting from your experience, those are the indicators of what you should be doing for you. Your capacity for change is unlimited. Your potential is unlimited. The only thing that's holding you back from unlimited potential is yourself, your own mind, your own limiting beliefs, your own boundaries. One of the things that we have to do at the beginning of any transformation is to cleanse your life. So cleanse your life of any negativity, detach from negativity, detach. And I don't mean you have to go off into isolation. Isolation is not for everyone. It's not even feasible or possible for everybody. But cleansing your life of negativity, meaning I am in myself, I am around other people, but other people's thoughts, words, and actions no longer affect me. That is what detachment means. It doesn't mean you have to be in isolation. If you're going deeply into a spiritual lifestyle, oftentimes there's a period of isolation that's very useful. It builds strength. So that way, when you do go back out into the world, you have the skill set to not be affected by anything on the outside. On YouTube, BK Shivani has great videos from Navratri about the 10 demons of soul. I put out on TikTok, just a short 1-minute video about the 10 demons that plague a human soul. I know that not everybody is into spiritual health yet, But once you understand that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, you'll really understand the importance of spiritual health and how it's like reverse engineering your healthcare. A lot of people, they try to address their physical health first, and then their mental and emotional health, and then their spiritual health. When in reality, if you treat your healthcare as a table with many legs, and you realize that if you treat every single leg, the table is much stronger. So if your physical health suffers at some point for whatever reason, you still already have all those other legs to the table to hold up your healthcare. Spiritual health also is really the root. So if you're a healthy individual and you really focus on your spiritual health and your energetic body, you won't manifest issues into your mental, emotional, or physical self. So a healthy person who focuses on spiritual health is practicing preventative health care. And I think that's the point we'll be moving into in the future, is really preventative health care, because I don't think people are going to be as sick as much once everyone realizes how to take care of themselves. The toxins that we take in from our environment can be cleansed from our bodies using different practices. So one of the things that I do, I create a body mask, face mask, body mask, to cleanse my body of the different environmental toxins, because what I eat has gotten very meticulous about not eating anything toxic as much as possible. And the only thing that's really toxic is outside environment that's out of my control. So like we talked about yesterday, create what you can, accept what is. There are toxins in our environment. There's exhaust in the air, all this other stuff. So I accept that. And instead of pointing the finger and getting angry, I created a solution that works for me to be able to cleanse my body of the toxins. I use a combination of neem and turmeric, and a couple other things. And I create a body wash. And every once in a while, I cleanse myself of toxins from the environment. I protect my skin. So with transformation, ask yourself, how far am I willing to go? How much effort am I willing to put in to changing my life or to changing my health or whatever it is? If you're wanting to transform or change something in your life, you need to have the fire to do it. You need to have the desire to make the change happen, because you're the one ultimately that's making the change happen. There are ways to increase your personal fire. So if you're feeling lackadaisical, or if you're feeling, blasé, just kind of in a state of entropy or lacking energy, there are ways that you can increase your levels of energy. If you're feeling that way, you're in a tamasic state of being. So you're in this heavy, not really moving much type of energy. It's an entropy type of energy. So you should address that first by getting into a more rajasic state of being, a more fiery state. That's the transformative state of energy. So you can do different mantras, meditations, visualizations, chakra healing. There's also just the list goes on. You change what you eat can also change that for you. Also, when you're doing transformation, stop thinking so small. Think big. Think, what is my highest self? What is if I could change instantly into my highest timeline and be on my highest timeline in my highest version of myself, what does that look like? visualize it, feel it, be it. You can change whatever you desire about your life. You have to be able to think about it and visualize it first. And that is how you can create it in your reality. So start setting the vision in your head, and then you will make it happen. So what else do I have? I'm not gonna ramble for too long. I'm gonna try to keep my videos kind of short. So your struggles or any enemies or people that come across your path that try to hold you back or just basically give you a hard time. So we can call them enemies. In reality, you have no enemies because everything in your experience is working for you. So when something negative comes into your life or somebody's trying to work against you, understand that it's part of your experience for a reason. That person or those people exist to strengthen you. So if you asked to be stronger or wiser, then those people are part of what you asked for. Those people exist to build you. And so always be grateful. Never throw negative energy back to anyone, because that will end up coming back to you. So I always like to think of any enemies as a launch pad for your own success, because they're a gift. They're a gift to you to help build you into the future self, the self that is your highest version of you on your highest timeline, the person who's unstoppable, the person who gets up and does what they intend to do on a daily basis. You're the key that unlocks your own success and potential. And how you think about life is how your life is going to go. So if you have the positive mindset, if you have this deep understanding that everything is working for you, your life is going to flow onward and upward. I'm not saying there won't be the peaks and the valleys, right? But like I talked about yesterday, if you're in awareness of the peaks and the valleys, and you say, okay, I'm at a peak right now, I understand that there's going to be more valleys in my life. I'm appreciative of the peak, but I'm not going to go like over the top, getting into ego, because I understand that more valleys will come. And when we're at the valley, when we're at a low in life, we observe it and we are grateful for it. Oh, this is a calm time of life, or this is a reflective time. This is a time where a dark night of the soul, when I can dig a little bit deeper and come out the other side with a deeper understanding and more awareness about my surroundings, about my life. All points in life can be appreciated. When you get to that point, you have this positive mindset all the time, you can enjoy your entire life. When we try to only have pleasurable experiences in life, when we pleasure seek, then we end up having these lows where we feel depressed or sad because we're not appreciative of the low times. When we understand through wisdom that these low times are to be appreciated as well because they serve purpose in our experience, they won't bring us down. We have like the flow instead of a roller coaster of emotion and energy. So where are you depositing your energy in your daily experience? If you think of your entire experience of life as a bank, and your energy is the currency, and you're depositing it in these different parts of your life, and then you wonder why you're not getting a return on these different areas. So if you're hoping to build something with another person, a stable, balanced relationship, and you're not depositing enough energy into that area of life, don't expect much return, right? You have to deposit energy to get energy back. So along the way, while you're building yourself, if there's people who underestimate you or devalue you, that's okay. Let them think what they're going to think. They're going to think it anyway. Everyone in the world has a different version of you in their head. Understand this, right? Like, every single person is having their own experience. They're looking at you through their own lens, from their experience and understand their level of understanding and awareness. So what their version of you isn't absolute reality. And the person next to them has a completely different version of you in their head. So if you go through life worrying about what other people think of you, it's going to be a challenging life, because everybody sees you differently. So always remember, you know yourself, and other people's opinions are not your issue. Let them think what they want to think. You are going to keep evolving. And if you want to be a leader in anything, a trailblazer, you're really going to have to learn not to care at all what other people think, because they're going to think whatever. And then by you having consistent efforts and your continued action and your transformation, it will show them, number one, transformation is possible. Number two, you're not maybe who they thought you were. And you know your worth. You'll be showing them who you are by continuing to focus on your own energy and yourself and your path and what you want to do in the world. So it's exciting to be alive right now, because we're living in a time where science and spirituality are crossing over. And that is going to be a video for another time. But I wanted to let you guys know that you can always take in divine energy from your environment. A lot of people do it with the sun. And I think I'll make a separate video for this, because I'll walk you through the process. But just know, with the omnipresent divine intelligence all around, you're able to cultivate energy and harness infinite energy from the source of all energy all the time. Maybe I'll do that video later today, or maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But until then, sending you so much love, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I don't know how to stop this video because it's in Zoom. So peace and love.